I was thinking about what to talk about on this call. And what I thought would be a really good idea and is to just make it like an open forum where everybody shares, but we'll have a topic that we choose. So I was thinking we could start with because I feel like what people struggle with the most is adding names to their contact list. Like, wait, oh, am I free? Am I frozen? Shoot, I froze. I froze. Should kick back on, hopefully. Oh, man. Come on. Okay, there we go. I froze. Now Stephanie. I'm like, it's funny because when you freeze, like everybody's face is like frozen in this certain way. It's funny. All right. So I was saying that we could make it like a share where everybody shares, but I was thinking we could do topics. So I think that the common theme that people struggle with the most is how to add names to their contact list, how to reach more people, how to make new friends, like which ways to do that. So we were talking about that on one of our focus calls today. So I was going to open it up and say, what is your best way that you found, to meet new people that are interested in what you're doing? At this point for me, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be authentic and admit that a lot of it is advertising at this point, because now I'm doing like a Facebook ads training. I've invested in my Instagram page. Like that's how I've got all those followers. It's not just organic, and that's okay. But when I started, what worked for me really well was I would join groups that had like common interests. I would search for Facebook groups with common interests. And actually there was a group called No Excuse Moms that they didn't used to be so regulated in the No Excuse Moms group, where you could kind of post things and you could communicate with people. So in the No Excuse Moms group, well, the reason I joined it was because I knew that it was like this health group, and I was like a stepmom at the time. My ex had a daughter and she was living with us. So, it's just, I went in there, I was kind of a mom, if you per se, in a way. And what I did was shared my transformation pictures, like my before and afters, and like shared my story. And then anybody that commented or liked my post, I would just like add them as a friend. And then I would send them a personal message and just say, hey, how are you? Thanks so much for your support on my post. I'm just, I love connecting with other like-minded people. How are you today? I look forward to connecting with you. Something very simple, not long, because if it's with 50 million questions in one message, people are going to read it and they're going to be like, oh my God, I don't have time to answer that right now. And then they're not going to answer it, and then they're never going to go back to it. So you're not going to hear back from them. So it needs to just be like a simple little question to start a conversation. So that's one way that I met people. And one of my diamond coaches, Anita Grizzard, came from the No Excuse Moms group. So groups, Facebook groups, you can search for groups and join groups. Again, but don't join the group thinking like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to spam and I'm going to be like, look at me, I'm a Beachbody coach. Click my link, come buy this. But you're rather going in there to connect with like-minded people and start building a relationship. So those people that did comment and, connected with me and responded to the post and I messaged, I started with just building the relationship. So getting to know them, forming them. What do they do? Do they like their job? What kind of shape are they in? Are they working on some goals? So it was conversational back and forth. So just to reiterate, it's not like I would add them as a friend and then spam them and be like, do you want to join my Beachbody Challenge group? It's not going to work. And I know probably every single person, raise your hand if you've gotten a message from a unique, distributor or a Rodan and Fields distributor, or, asking you, or what about the nails, to throw a party, an online party for them. I mean, I literally get messages from people on Instagram and on, Facebook, especially Instagram. Instagram people are really spammy. They'll send me a message and be like, I really think that you could be good at this and you can grow and you can have a business that will bring you in $500 to $1,000 a week and just da-da-da. And I'm like, really? Does this really work? So we all know what it feels like to be spammed like that. So don't be that person. Be the person that really authentically cares about people and wants to connect with them because they want to have a relationship with that person, not because you're just trying to make a sale. Okay, so those are my tips. That's my way I found people. Who else wants to share? Stephanie? Of course.
It's funny because I actually just got a unique spam last night. Somebody that has been following me for a while for fitness, but it was like hilarious to me. I mean, it's like she like mentioned the money and like buy this and you'll get this product. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, and it said like, hey girl, like not even my name. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. Ways I've been friending people. I probably started in this business with like maybe 200 to 300 friends on my Facebook, and I'm up to like 1,027 right now, and I've been in it a year. Things that I do is I'll just type in friends of friends in my search engine at the top of Facebook, and then as long as I have like, I don't know, 10 or more friends in common with someone, I'll friend them. And if they accept my friendship, then I'll just shoot them a quick message like, hey, thanks so much for friending me on Facebook. You know, I saw we had a lot of friends in common. And if I know someone really well in that group, I'll say something like, oh, I saw we had a lot of friends in common. Celia, you know, how do you know her? And I'll just like ask a simple question like that. If they're from my area, but I don't really know our friends in common, like those people are kind of random, then I'll just say like, hey, thanks for friending me. I'm always looking to meet people in the area, new moms in the area that I can connect with. I'm actually a new instructor. And I might say something like that. You know, are you active? Or I'll look at their Facebook page and, you know, see what's on their Facebook page. I've, you know, looked at like cover photos before and thought they were really cool. And so I'd say, thanks for friending me. Your cover shot is amazing. Where did you take that? And they'll respond. So that's like the easiest trick is to look at their Facebook. If you're like, what am I supposed to say to this person? Look at their Facebook page and just find something that you find interesting and ask them a question about it. So that's a place that I found people. A lot of my friends that are add-ons are from promoting to buy, sell, trade groups. So if I'm doing like a free group, I'll go to local buy, sell, trade sites on Facebook and I'll post in there and I'll get a lot of interest. They may not actually join the group, but I'll friend them first before I message them. So I know they have an interest in fitness because they responded or liked my post. And then I added them on Facebook and they accepted. Almost like 99% of people that like or comment on those posts will accept my friendship. So I get people that way. Lastly, I'm a new instructor. So anytime I have a good class, I'll take a picture and all of my participants allow me to tag them. And so I'll, you know, say like, that was an awesome class. Like, thanks so much for coming out. And I tag all the people and then their friends will comment and then I friend them. So those are the things that have been working for me. I mean, a lot of my coaches on here, a handful of them came from the buy, sell, trade sites. That's where they originally saw my post or they came to my class. So that's been working for me really well. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's another thing that I did too. I agree is I added friends of people where I would go through my friends list and I would look at people and I would add friends that we had in common. Again, I wouldn't spam their friends and be like, hey, you're a new friend. Do you want to join my Beachbody challenge? But I would just send them a message and say, thanks for adding me, you know, and then I would look at something on their page. Like I would find some commonality, which is what they talk about on Jesse's Facebook training, is find some commonality. So for example, like, I don't know why, but I was attracting a lot of people that lived in Southern California and I lived out there for a year. So I'd be like, oh, you live in LA? How do you like that? I lived in Marina Del Rey for a year, you know, and that was like 10 years ago, but it started a conversation about something very simple where we had a commonality. So bridge gaps. Who else? Okay, Callie?
Okay. So another good way is if you do have those common friends, and I have that set number, like I try to look for 3 or more, and say it's just like that really cool person that you've came across in your life, and they're, for example, my friend Janet, she's a teacher. And I got friends through her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Janet. She's such a sweetheart. And then they're like, oh, you know Janet? And I'm like, yeah, my husband's worked with her for years. And then so really look at acquaintances that maybe you don't talk to every day And then, but there's somebody that you really like. They're like that go-to person, like, you know, the person you can run to in the grocery store and talk to, like no time has passed, and connect to other people through side, feel really connected because you're connecting with the person that they really like too. You know what I mean? So,
and that's a good point too, is when it's someone that's a friend of a friend, you know, not that every time it's going to be, but they say that your friends of friends are your target market because they're friends with people that you're friends with, you know? So if you're adding people that are your friends' friends, then they're going to be more like you probably and have more commonalities than you than just some random stranger on Facebook. So it's a good point.
I agree. Totally. So that's just one way I like to do it. And then, yeah, I just friend of a friend and try to set a goal every day to hit. Just shoot out messages and know that if your goal is to send 5 invites out, 10 invites out, 15 invites out, you may not get 15 responses like that, but the next day you're going to get them. So don't think that you're failing if you don't meet that goal, especially new coaches. Like, a grace, because not everybody's going to move as fast as you. So they're going to do a little homework on you and look at your timeline. Another good reason to make sure you have good posts on there. So here we go.
One thing that I do, thank you for sharing that, Callie.
Thank you.
One thing that I do, and I'll share my screen, is there's a way for you to look at here at your friends. If you go to your page and you look at your friends, you can look at recently added right here, and you can see who you recently added. And then what I'll do is I make sure to message every single new friend, you know, and just say, thanks for the ad. And if there's somebody that I met, like, for example, I met her at the dog park, I'd say, thanks for the ad. So good to see you, like whatever, at the dog park. Or, you know, most of these people are through Facebook. I met her at the dog park, you know, different ways of meeting people. And then I make sure to send them all a message. So I'll scroll back to like my, you know, older friends. And then if there isn't any messages between myself and them, then I send them a message and then make sure that we're corresponding. And then if they don't answer me, I'll go back through all of my messages. Like at the end of the month, at the end of every month, I go back through all of my messages and I see like who were the people that didn't respond. And I say, hey, did you receive the message I sent you before? You know, because it's been like a month already and they didn't respond. So, and it's not bugging them. And then I'll get some people that will respond at that point. And then the people that don't, generally, they're not going to be people that I'm probably going to be working with because they're not engaging with me. So that's something that I do. Actually, Sarah Nill did something. She printed out her Facebook, all of her friends on her Facebook page, and then she highlighted them, like based on if they were already a coach or if she'd already talked to them about a challenge group. I think didn't she do it like that, Sarah?
Yes. First I went through and highlighted all of the coaches that I know are coaches. And then the trickiest part is going through and the people that you don't recognize right away, just because I'm a new coach, there was a lot of new names. I went through and saw who they were friends with. So like if they were friends with Nadia or Annie Love or other coaches, then I highlighted them in yellow because it's like those are off, you know, they're off the market for me. Those are not people that I'm going to go after because they're already friends with other coaches. So you have to know who the coaches are and then know who these people are friends with. So yeah, I'm going through that list of 900 and just highlighting the people that I contact in green. And my goal is to have every single person that's not a coach or a friend of a coach highlighted in green in a month's time.
And then you're going to reach out to them and just send them a personal message and say, you know, hi, how are you?
That's what I've been doing. Yep. I've just been sending them a message in Facebook. It's a very similar message to the one that I'm sending my customers. Just, hey, I started a blog. This is a passion of mine. You know, my father had a heart attack at 29. I inherited his genes. I want to help people get healthy. Here's my clean plan. Would you mind throwing me a like on my fan page? Just, you know, general, and then see what happens. And then I've kind of moved on to the next phase because I've noticed a lot of the people that I have left on those lists are either men, which I really don't want to go there. I just don't feel like I'm the best coach for them, or they're already like yoga instructors or something. And I'm not ready to touch on that yet. I know, Stephanie, that was something I kind of put those people out of my mind, but I see now that can work potentially. But anyway, I really have focused the past week in the cold market. I've been watching just as many YouTubes as I can on cold market. And I created an ad. I've paid $10 3 times, and every single time I've gotten a challenger. So that did today. And I just actually, while we've been talking, I had a lady fill out my survey and text me just while we were talking. And I just posted that ad like 5 o'clock today. So
Is that on YouTube?
no, I posted it on my fan page, and I boosted the page for $10. And like I said, I already have somebody.
On Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. You might think about investing. I love everything that you just said. That's awesome. And if you're liking boosting and you're getting a lot out of that, you might think about investing in Jesse Reagan's Facebook training, because he teaches you how to like really get more bang for your buck. Like if you boost, like if you create an ad for $10, you know, you could get like, I don't know. For example, I think I just ran one, and it's targeted for like runners that are looking for cross training, because I used to be a runner. And he teaches you how to target specific markets. And I have 12 prospects from one ad, and I think it was like $12. I mean, not that I'm going to close all of them, you know, not that they're all going to enroll, but I just, you know, it's maybe like so I paid like $1 per prospect, and you know, even if they don't all enroll now, I'm having them fill out that form, you know, through MailChimp, so that they're in my, you know, database. And then I can send them like some type of, you know, follow-up. Like if they don't enroll in this challenge group, then I'll send them a recipe, you know, at the end of this month, I'll send them a recipe, and then say like, here's the upcoming events. I have a new challenge group starting, you know? So you're doing awesome. I love everything that you said. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I was going to say, if, you know, her idea with doing the Facebook friends and highlighting, first of all, I was like, wow, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that. And second of all, you're going to be able to, those are people that are your friends. So rather than trying to go out and create more cold market, if you haven't been through all of your Facebook friends yet, that's your warm market. You've still got people on that list. So I would start with those people before I would go out and try to message cold, you know, market people. I would make sure that I'm sending, you know, whatever your time permits for you. If it's one person a day you can send a message to, cool. If it's, you know, 5 people a day that you can send a message to, cool. If it's one person a week, cool. But set yourself a goal. Set yourself a goal to do a little bit more, you know, than you did last week. So if you messaged nobody last week, then why don't you message 2 or 3 people this week? You know, make it a small, if you message, you know, 1 person every day this week, then why don't you try doing 2 every day next week, you know, and try to increase your numbers until you start to really make some strong, solid connections and increase your conversations with people. It's a compound effect. Those little things compounded over time, making small incremental changes. So same thing with Facebook posting. If you're not consistent in your Facebook posting, you know, then your business is not going to be consistently growing, to be honest with you. So why don't you try, if you can't post 3 times a day, okay, that's fine. Why don't you try posting 3 times a week? If you're posting 0 times, try 3 times a week and make those really high value. Okay. Then once you get that down for a couple of weeks, increase that to, okay, I'm going to post now, you know, 1 time every day. I'm going to post 7 days straight. Every day I'm going to post something, you know, set yourself some goals and be consistent and keep compounding and increasing and growing, because eventually all those little things that you do will add up to huge things in your business. But don't try to be like, okay, I have no time and I'm working 6 jobs and I have 3 kids and I have a dog and I have a job and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do Superwoman and I'm going to post 3 times a day and I'm going to message 15 people a day, because that is what we do as people. We get into this mode where we're like, I'm going to do everything because I really want this to work. And then like we do that for 2 days and we're like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I can't do this. It's insane. And then we quit. Versus come up with what works for you. Come up with a schedule that works for you, a plan that works for you, that do what you can do. I love this. Joanne got me this for a gift. And it's like the best gift I've ever gotten in my life. The Passion Planner. It's so cool because it has like little boxes where you can put your weekly focus, good things that happen to you. It's not just about like technical things. There's a little space in here called the space of infinite possibilities. I mean, it's creative. This woman wanted a planner and she couldn't, find one that she liked. So she came up with this. And I like that it has like the whole page. You can put so many things on there, that I like that. And the focus at the top of the day, you can put like what you're going to focus on. So you can write in here, like, okay, I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can write what you're going to post about, what are going to be the topics of your post, and plan some things out and to help you create some consistency in your business. This thing, I don't know how much it was, $20, $30 for this planner, it's passionplanner.com. My best friend. I like bring it everywhere with me. It's the cutest thing ever. And then at the end of the month, it has like this little, she has little exercises you do. Monthly reflection. What was the most memorable part of this month? Describe it. I mean, it's got like little journaling things in here. What were the 3 biggest lessons you've learned in the past month? Anyway, I got off on a tangent, but I really like planners, obviously. So, schedule yourself some time. If you're in your business right now and you're stalled out and you're like, I'm getting nowhere fast, then, create a plan for yourself. I mean, if you still have a desire to do this and you want to get moving, create a plan that works for you around your schedule. You have a light day, a couple days a week, make that the day that you do some messaging, and make that the day that you send, put some Facebook posts. Maybe you can spend that time constructing some Facebook posts that you put into Hootsuite that go up, when you're not able to do it. Those are just my, and have fun. Always remember to have fun. If you're in this business and you're like muscling your way through it and you're hating every minute of it because you want to quit your job, or you want to travel on this certain vacation, or you want to, I don't know, whatever it is. Mine was I wanted to quit my job. I was a full-time nurse anesthetist and I hated my job, and I was so frustrated with this business because I couldn't make enough money to be able to quit my job. And it was not fun. It was not fun for a very long time because of my energy, because of what energy I was putting into it, energy of frustration. If that's where you're at, check yourself and take a step back, take a deep breath, walk away from it, do some personal development, and come back when you've got a fresh outlook on it and your energy is positive and you're like, I'm going to go about this and it's going to be fun and I'm going to like what I'm doing and I'm going to help a lot of people and I'm going to make some money along the way. And it could be a lot of money if that's what I want to happen. But make sure that you're enjoying the process, because this is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Okay. But anyone can be successful. Truly 100% believe anybody can be successful. It is hashtag inevitable that you will be successful if you consistently engage in the 3 vital behaviors every single day long enough. And you keep finding those people that want what you're offering, the solution that you're offering. You find your 5 best friends. My focus for my people is 5 best friends every single month, enroll with a challenge pack. 5 new people, enroll with a challenge pack every month. It's not that hard. 5 people, you can do that. We can all do that. And when we do that and we really take a huge heart on for those people and we really invest into them, those 5 people could turn into 25 people like this, because they can go on and they want to become coaches and they want to be advocates of what we're doing and they want to join your coach army and they want to help 5 people next month. So maybe you have 5 people this month and you help them really, really well. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And they're shouting it from the rooftops because they've had such an incredible experience with you that they want to go out and help 5 people next month. And if they help 5 people, then you've helped 30 people in 2 months, but you've really only still helped 5 people. That's why the coaching opportunity is so much more than just a customer, than just enrolling somebody as a customer. Not saying that you need to push your agenda on anybody, but the coaching opportunity is going to help you help a lot more people, and it's going to help you make a lot more money at the end of the day, because you're going to be duplicating your efforts down line, and the way that you're going to help those 5 people and have them all upgrade and want to become coaches, maybe they're not all going to want to do it, but the way it's going to be more likely is to really connect with them and really invest your heart into them reaching their goals, not in a codependent way, not in a way where you're like at their beck and call, 24/7. No, in a way where you give them access to all the tools that are going to make them successful, and you focus on building that relationship with them and having some relationship with them where they feel accountable to you. One thing, and I was talking about this earlier, and I know that I got off because we were talking about a different subject, but this is important. We were talking about this earlier on our call, and a couple of things that have really helped me upgrade a lot of my customers to working coaches is I do a call with them before they start their challenge group. So if we've been just messaging on, Facebook Messenger or texting, and we haven't actually gotten on the phone and had a phone call, then we'll get them on the phone. So this last challenge group, I called everybody the Friday before the official kickoff of the challenge group. Nobody really answered. So we scheduled the call for Sunday. So I talked to everyone on like Sunday morning, afternoon, early afternoon, and then I was done for the day. And that was the day before the kickoff of their group. And then at 7 p.m. on the Monday of the call, on the Monday of the official kickoff, I did a Zoom chat with them, but nobody showed up, which is fine because I already talked to all of them. Another thing that really has helped me is they have a success partner in the group that's not me. What that's done is they become friends. They instantly have another friend that's checking up on them, that they like are totally engaging with. And they're like, I got your back, you got my back. They have someone that they feel accountable to, and they feel like they're being supported by more than just me. So there's twofold, benefit to that. I'm not responsible for all of their accountability and support because they're getting it from other people. So it's a little less energy that has to go into it. And they are getting a lot more support and accountability by having that other person checking up on them and making sure that they're, doing what they need to be doing. This group, this group is the first group where I like really set my intention and energetically said, like, I'm going to talk to every single person before it starts. I'm going to really like invest into them because like, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm putting everything I've got into these people because I really liked all of them. And they closed, like they all found me. 3 of them found me on Instagram. No, I think like 4 of them found me on Instagram or something. And 1 of them found me on my Facebook page. And then 1 of them was like an old customer that reordered another challenge pack. And I was like committed that I'm going to get them all on the phone before we start, because when they found me like, and they were like, I want to do what you are offering. And they literally went through the process of the 5 steps within like 3 days, and they were all enrolled with the challenge pack. It was the easiest it's ever been for me because they were my target market. Because of the way that I have done my advertising, I'm getting targeted followers. So how I've advertised, I'm getting people that are runners or previous runners, or they're connected to my story because they're targeted followers. So it was easy to enroll them with the challenge pack. They really wanted to do it. And then when they actually enrolled, it was like, these people, I actually was like, wow, I really like talking to them and I think they're really cool. And if they lived close by, I would go out to lunch with them or have a coffee, and I would meet up with them and I would see, what that relationship was, if it was more. And 2 of them, like 1 of them is a single mom, so she's not in a relationship. The other one is a young girl, super young. And the other one is a mom of 2 young kids. Actually, 2 of them are moms. And then the other one is like, I think she's like in her 40s, and she's not married, but she's engaged, no kids. So anyway, they are more engaged than I've ever seen any challenge group of mine ever. And I really truly know that it's the phone call, and it's really investing into them, and it's them having a success partner that's not me, because they're all like, I mean, 2 of the girls posted their before pictures in the group. Like, I've rarely ever seen that in my groups where they post their before pictures. Like, one of the girls was like, here's me, and I'm just showing them. And it was, that's rarely happened to me, but these girls are just, I don't know. There's something about when energetically you really put your heart into it. And I'm not saying like you put your heart into it as, like I said, you're available 24/7, because that's, you can't be available 24/7. I mean, you're putting your heart into it energetically. You're like, I really want these people to be successful. Like, you really feel it in your heart because you like these people and you authentically, truly want to help them. And you really listen to what they're saying, and you hear their story, and you have a conversation with them, and you really invest into getting to know them. It's I don't know, it just goes so far. And I froze again. Dang it. I froze. No.
Okay. So like, I had this conversation with Stephanie the other day, and it seems like common sense to have conversations with people and call people. But honestly, I didn't think about it, and I was sitting here and it was so exhausting that you go through these steps with people and you put yourself out there and you're communicating and you're doing all this stuff. And I was so exhausted and I was so tired until they're like, hey, you should probably just be calling people. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I did that this weekend, and it really did make the process a little bit smoother for me, as well as probably with other people, my potential challengers and friends and things. But that really helped me and kind of took the stress off a little bit. So I think that that's been my biggest problem, is that it's just been a little consuming at times, because you put all this effort and then people just stop responding. So it's kind of frustrating. But then when you do get them on the phone and you are able to kind of talk with them and make it more intimate and more personable, it does make the process a little easier. So, but yeah.
And you can do it. You're talking about that you talk to them even before they enrolled with the challenge pack, even before.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that it was, some of them have already enrolled and have the challenge pack and just kind of dropped off. Some of the people I already know. But even talking with people before we started our 2-week challenge, it started today. I was on the phone with a couple of people, and that just helped. And, I wasn't pushing Beachbody. I wasn't pushing, anything like that, just kind of talking to them a little bit, and it just helped. And it took a lot of the stress off me, just talking on the phone, because I'm more comfortable just talking than texting and typing and all that other crap. So, but it helped. But I'm saying, like, oh, yeah, I can call people. That makes so much sense. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell? Like, I'm sitting here
to take pictures. It also works as a phone to call people, just in case you guys didn't know.
So, well, and that's the thing too, is because I am so technologically not there. Even my husband's like, you're on your phone all the time. And I'm like, no, not really. I just don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just have an iPhone. Like, I'm not somebody who talks to people. I don't call people. Like, I'm not a fan. If I could go without a cell phone and a computer, I would be totally fine. So just maybe getting acclimated to that whole process has been challenging. So I think getting over that hump and just really calling people and talking to people has helped. They haven't bought challenge packs or anything like that, but they're way more comfortable with me, I think, after talking to me. So we'll see.
And those no's that you already talked to that have said no for now, they haven't purchased
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, are going to be 90% more likely to enroll with the challenge pack than someone that you just did a messaging with and you never had a conversation with.
Yeah.
Because I had a girl that I did that with and she was like, no, I don't really want to do that. I was like, okay. She was a cold market and I got her on the phone and then I put her in a free group and then like she was in a free group for like a week and then I posted about a challenge group and she was like, okay, I'll do it. Like it was just, it's easier because and then when they are actually in the group, they feel a lot more accountable to you because if you just been messaging, they don't feel accountable to you. They can fall off and doesn't matter. They don't care. They'll completely, no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and my son, and I even remember too when Stephanie was reaching out and wanted to call me, and I'm like, she wants to call me? Like, I want to talk on the phone. I want to talk on the phone. Like, yeah, sure, you can call me. I'm free. It's fine.
Stephanie was like, mind you, one of the biggest resistors of the call because she's like, her excuse really was I'm not good on the phone. But really, she just didn't want to do it.
No, wait. My excuse was the fact that I wasn't doing 21 day. Like that.
No, you kept saying, I'm not good on the phone. I'm not good on the phone. I'm not good on the phone.
I would like stumble over myself, but I stumbled so many times that I got better at it. But I actually wanted to share about like in my groups, since I've been getting on the phone with people, like the engagement has gone up tremendously in my groups. Like seriously, every group I have, I'm like, oh my God, this group is awesome. Like my next group is not going to be this cool. And then like my next group is like even better. And it's just like, it keeps growing. But I actually talked about this on my team call last week where I, mentioned like, if you aren't getting on the phone with people and you're just messaging back and forth, and then you get to like day 3 for us is picture day. And you're like, all right, send me your half naked pictures. And all you've done is message people.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like, okay, I'm going to send my half naked pic to this chick that I've only messaged with. Like, to me, that's like, before I got on the phone, I mean, I got some pictures, but I'd have to like stress the importance of it. Cause that's where people see their change in these pictures. And now it's like, I don't really have to like beg for them. It's day 3. I've talked to everyone. They're comfortable. They all send me their pictures. It's like not really a question. It's just something that they now do. And I've noticed that has gone up. That's a correlation getting on the phone with people is that I'm not begging for their, transformation pictures. They're just giving them to me because we have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They're comfortable.
And if you're in your challenge group and you're like, you've got, it doesn't even matter if you have 1 or 2 challengers and you're doing it with somebody else and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but none of my challenge groups are like, nobody's engaging and none of them are doing the thing. And well, for one, I would figure out like, did they show you some signs in the process of enrolling them where that they looked like they were going to be that type of person? Because I did have one girl that I had prospected for probably like a year. And she kept, telling me she was going to enroll. And then she would reach out to me like every single month and tell me, I'm ready to do it. And I'd send her the link again. I'd like resend it to her, not even modify it. And she would be like, okay. And then she would never enroll. And this time she was finally like, I'm going to do it. And I just wrote her LOL. Because I was just like, this is funny. It's every month she does this thing. I just wrote her LOL because I was just like, this is hilarious. She does this every month. And I was like, do you still have the link? And she was like, send it to me again. So I sent it to her again. And she actually went through and purchased it. And it was like, I was like, okay, but she already showed me signs. I mean, I'm not going to stop her from purchasing it from me if she wants to, but she already showed me signs that she's not really into it, right? So I tried to get her on the phone after she made the purchase. She didn't get on the phone with me. Big surprise. She actually removed herself from the challenge group and said that she thinks she needs to lose a lot more weight than the people that are in the group. They all just need to lose a few pounds, and she just, distanced herself, which is fine. I'm just going to check in on her. But my point is, people will show you before they enroll whether they're going to be serious or not. So if you're running around if I ran around and chased that girl and was like, I need those 2 Success Club points. I need to sell that challenge pack. Oh my God. And that was one of the people that I really wanted, then of course I would be frustrated if she fell off. I'm like, oh my God, this girl, I'm so frustrated because she ordered the challenge pack and she was my one girl that did it. That's not, she obviously wasn't somebody that was going to really, she already showed me the signs, right? Okay. Secondly, if your challenge group is people that are not engaging, at all, and you know, they didn't show you signs before, and you paid attention and you were conscious of it, and they didn't show you any signs of not being like that, not being flaky and flaking out, then I would question how much time you actually spent really getting to know them and digging into why they want to do this and digging into their goals and getting on the phone with them and really authentically, you know, giving your heart to helping them. Because if you don't, then yeah, they're not going to feel accountable to you and they're not going to be engaging in that group. So I'd take a look at your last challenge group or your challenge group that you got going on right now and assess and be like, well, is it the person? Did they show me signs that they probably weren't going to be engaging? I know Stephanie won't even enroll people if they won't get on the phone with her. She won't do it because she knows that they're not going to be engaging. So are they showing you signs, or is it something that you're doing in your process before they get in the group that's, you know, having them not be engaged? So I know we spent a lot of time on that, but I think those are really good points. I do want to make an announcement. I'm going to have to get off at 9:00 sharp because I have I have a quick team cup call with my team cup. So we can't go over an hour tonight. And I wanted to make an announcement that we are starting another 7-day new coach training. It started today. I'm running it. Stephanie's in there. She has 2 of her coaches. For anyone that wants to do the 7-day training, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome to be in there, and it's team wide. If you want a link to the group, reach up to your upline, you know, sponsor, or a Star Diamond and Star Diamond, and ask for the link to the group. I posted it in Team Aloha. They can get it, and you can join the group, and you have access to that. If you want to redo it, cool. You can join the group too and redo it. Or if you've never done it before and you want to do it and start it, you're welcome to join today. And then that ends on, it's going to be starting every Monday through Sunday. So if you have any new coaches on your team that join between now and next Monday and you want to get them started, as long as they've done the checklist and the welcome letter, then they're welcome to join that new training group and go through it with the team. That was my one announcement that I forgot to announce at the beginning of the call that I wanted to announce. Thank you for sharing, Kristen. You're a rock star. Stephanie,
Can I, say something?
Hey, man.
Stephanie 2.0.
I just wanted to say, when I don't always reach out to everybody just on social media because I work in like a very busy restaurant, probably one of the busiest ones in Harrison. So I make people's coffee for a living. That's all I do. And when people come in and they change their coffee order and they just get black coffee, and I know that they've always got like extra cream, then I know that they're like looking for a change in their life, basically. Like I know that they're going on that diet kick or whatever. So then I just start a conversation with them, and eventually by the end of the conversation, I'm adding them on Facebook, and we continue talking from there. Or if like people continue asking me like, well, what are you doing to lose weight, or why are you getting in shape, or how are you doing it? Then I start a conversation with them there. Most of the people that I do talk to, I have met from work.
That's awesome.
So
there you go. Just being interested, more interested in people than being interesting.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
And P.S. Celia is like brand new. She's been a coach for what, a week and a half? And she already went through the 7-day coach training. So,
And she's freaking awesome.
but that's Stephanie's 2.0, because Stephanie is leading by example. She's a leader. You know, you hear the speed of the pack is as fast as the leader, right? Or the speed of the leader, speed of the pack, right? Well, the speed of the leader, Stephanie's like, boom, you know, a cheetah. So her team is like that too. Jenny, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you. I was wondering, I just started like last week, and like today was the first day of my ever 21-day fix extreme that I started. And I was just wondering, like, as far as social media, and I mean, I've been reading up and looking at all the videos and this kind of thing. Do I wait until I have my, before and after photos to share? I mean, I am talking to plenty of people and all my friends. I mean, I've kind of like done stuff with them over the years anyway, like Different Insanity or Jillian Michaels or whatever. So now it's like, okay, great. I've got a plan and nutrition. I mean, I'm already sharing it naturally, which will come naturally. And I know a million people and I see a million people all the time. But when do I, like, as far as social media, I'm really holding back.
Well, that's going to be taught to you in the 7-day coach training.
Okay.
Each day there's a post. There's a, post this on your social media page, and it tells you exactly what to post.
And I just saw that today. Okay, great.
So that's that. There's going to be a social media piece of that, and that's exactly why we're showing you how to do it, where we're doing there's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, which is about marketing on social media. And it's so jab, jab, jab is like value, value, value. You want to post 80% value. It doesn't have to be about health and fitness related. It could be simply something, how you got your kid to shut up and, I don't know, how you got your kid to eat more vegetables, how you got, I don't know, something. It can be anything that you desire that's a part of who you are, can be value. And then when you do the right hook, the jab, jab, jab is the value, value, value. The right hook is the promotion of, asking somebody, the call out where you're asking somebody to join you. How social media works is it's an algorithm where the things that get a lot of likes, comments, and shares right away are considered important by Facebook. So they're going to show up in the news feeds of a lot of people and random strangers and things like that. So those promotional posts, those call outs, for the challenge groups and coaching. Oh man, mother effer. Come on. Hi, ay, ay.
Well, while she's frozen, and also you're doing all these jabs all week, Jenny, and then I'm going to be announcing that you're a new coach after you've completed the 7 days. So it's like you've been doing these little posts that are getting what is she doing? Interest all week. And then bam, on Monday, it's going to be like, she's a coach. So awesome. It all kind of works together.
So just follow along, and then
perfect.
And then after that 7-day, Stephanie and I have another 3 weeks of training, but we're still trying to figure out how we're going to get that out to people. For right now, just, follow along in that training. How are you getting that out to Celia, Steph?
I personally messaged her day 8 today.
Okay.
So just personally messaging.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to groups and engagement real quick, because I thought this was funny and I shared this with my team. I had someone from over the summer that bought a challenge pack, and we talked, we connected. She had told me that she had only had 4 pictures since her son was born, and he was 4 years old, because she hated the way she looked that much and she needed this. Fast forward, it probably took her a couple months to actually follow through with the program the first time, and she lost 5 pounds, felt amazing, then fell off the wagon for 5 months. Well then, and she was never really engaging. And then she came to me a week ago, was like, hey, I totally just prepped my kitchen. I'm ready. Can I be in your next group? And I was like, sure. Can we get on the phone first? And she was like, and she was real hesitant to get on the phone with me. And I was like, here's my thing, because I don't allow repeats into my groups. And Marissa and I have talked about this. I've allowed repeats before and they don't engage. So now I'm pretty strict with it. And I was like, I don't know if this is the group for you, but I have a graduate group that is awesome. You don't have to engage. It's just kind of come and go as you please. And she was like, well, I don't think the graduate group is for me. I'm starting off fresh. And so and then she said, but I don't like engaging. I don't like sharing all my personal stuff across Facebook. And I don't know, she was just very reluctant. And I was thinking well, why do you want to be in the group? And I kept saying, that's fine. Let's get on the phone and figure out what's best for you. She wouldn't get on the phone with me. I didn't put her in the group. She stated that she wasn't going to be engaging. I don't know how you would have felt about that, Marissa, but I didn't allow her back in the group. I said, I would love to support you as best I can, but I wasn't going to let her into a group when she told me she wasn't going to engage. I just thought that was interesting.
I would have probably tried to dig her a little deeper. Why don't you want to engage? Maybe she thinks that it's going to be public.
She knows it's not. She's been in my groups before. And I even said that. I was like, we're not drawing blood and asking for all your skeletons. I didn't say it that way, but we have talked, and I know she's highly, highly, highly insecure.
I think, I guess, does anybody else have an opinion on that? What do you, somebody that's maybe more introverted and was a little bit fearful of posting in the group, they can give Stephanie some feedback. Because me personally, I'd probably still let her in the group if she wanted to. If she was enrolling with the challenge pack, I would still.
No, she wasn't. She has a challenge pack from like 6 months ago. She was just redoing, like she's just doing 21 day again. She's not a new customer.
Like she reached out and said like, hey, I want to get back in and like be engaged.
No, she said, I want to be back in your group, but I don't want to engage in the group.
I don't know.
How does she want to engage?
That's a tough call.
Because I was like, you're not willing to share your story, but you want to peek in on everybody else's personal shares. I don't know.
It's a tough call.
Some people are really shy, or just insecure, right? They're not there. But like some people I support, like just on the phone or whatever, still talk to them and they're still cranking it. You know, they just really have this fear. Maybe that's just, I mean, depends. Like how else do they want to engage? You just gotta have to meet them where they're at. Sometimes, you know, doesn't have to be all the time. Like they're gonna be, you know, posting stuff on your wall. But if they can at least, okay, so if you don't want to post in my group, how can you be accountable to me then? You want to like try to do calls, or you want to call me or text me or whatever, you know, in some shape or form. How can I support you? Like it's still about supporting the person, right?
And that's what I told her. I said, I want to support you as best I can. So let's talk about it. But like I said, she wouldn't even get on like the phone with me either.
No
Like
text,
she was like, it's all good. I'm just not going to do anything. I'll just figure it out on my own. I was like, well, I'm here for you. Like I want to support you still. But I just didn't feel comfortable putting her in a group where everybody else was being engaging and she was just going to be like creeping.
Yeah.
Can I just like to chime in on this? If you, just like was said before, was it Charisse? Meet her where she's at. In other words, say, what is the best way to reach out to you? What is the best way to contact you? Is it through texting? Is it through email? Is it through Facebook? Is it through whatever? And that's where you meet her at, where she's most comfortable, because she was reaching out to you, but she wasn't, it just seemed like for me, I'm not that Facebook person. I go out there and I'll post occasionally. But again, I'll hit the text if someone calls me, or even want to do a face-to-face. That's probably my best thing, is to go face-to-face with people versus all the other contacts. But again, meeting her where she's most comfortable at, whatever that venue is, might have been another way to, strike out, or at least get that next engagement from her. Because all those other methods, as far as she wasn't comfortable with talking on the phone, she wasn't comfortable with Facebook, but maybe she might have been comfortable on another venue like texting or like.
Yeah, and we have messaged before, and we have talked on the phone before. She didn't want to talk on the phone about getting into a group. Right. So I will reach out to her, and maybe I'll just check in on her and see how she's doing. She does message with me back and forth. My concern was like just I didn't understand why she wanted to be in the group. Like,
because I was actually thinking about doing even group texting and that type of thing, because I have the people that I get in contact with are across the country. And I was so surprised when I posted something on Facebook, and the responses I got from some people, and it was actually one that really surprised me, was from someone who already said, oh, no, I don't want to do any workouts. And then she saw my post about Pio, and she's like, whoa, that looks amazing. Tell me more. I'm like, for real? So I said, I've been talking to her about, doing a program now. So it was kind of interesting, that transformation for me, just posting that one time. And now, I said, okay, I'll post a little bit more on Facebook. But again, everybody knows I'm not a Facebook person. So they know if they call me, text me, that's the best way to engage with me as well. So just a thought.
No, thank you. I'll reach out to her tonight, actually.
That's a tough call, because I don't know. I probably would do it on a case by case, and I don't know her. So I'd probably try to see But I know there's some people that just don't, they're not going to post every day. I mean, there's people that are introverted and I don't know. I mean, if they were going to never post ever, I would kind of be like, really? Never? But, if they're willing to kind of engage a little bit, then I don't.
Well, that's why I said the graduate group would be great for you. You don't have to really share anything. It's just sharing your workouts. So
yeah. I have people that want to join my new 4-week, again and again and again. And I'm like, but that's the graduate group is there. And they're like, well, I like it when they have more accountability. And I'm like, I ask questions every day in the graduate group, just nobody answers. I mean, I was like, and then I was like, do you want to help me lead the group? And she was like, no. I'm like, okay. Another thing I forgot to mention before we get kicked off or before we have to go is I do a call, and then I do, a call before the group starts. I have success partners and I put them in a group thread. So like a group messenger, like a message. And some of them leave it because they don't want to be like having all those notifications. But the ones that stay in it, they all become friends with each other because they're all like conversing in a conversation, and they're like, it really helps. It helps them feel like connected in the group. And the people that I have in this group, I think I enrolled like 9 people last month for this challenge group with challenge packs. And they are all, I mean, besides the one girl that left, they're all like, there's at least 5 or 6 of them that are like posting every day and doing awesome. So that was another thing I do. I start a group thread. And you actually now from a group can start a group thread. You can write, there's a little thing when you're on the computer, you can click on the little gear and it says like send message or start a chat, and you can start a chat and you can select the people in that group that you want to start the chat with. So anyway, I hope that you found this helpful. If you are like, oh my God, I don't know where to start, set yourself some goals for next week. Get yourself a planner and write down, your 3 days that you're going to do your social media posts. Write down your 3 days that you're going to contact people. If you're more advanced and you're wanting to take it to the next level, contact 5 people a day and do 3 posts a day or 4 posts a day on Facebook. What works for you. So thanks guys for being on the call. Have a good night.
Bye.